Devaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, entitled Prayers by Queen Kunti. Text 8.21 to 8.24. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namo Pankaja Nabhaya Namo Pankajamalini Namo Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangre. 8.23. Yatha Rishikesha Kalena Devaki Kamsena Rudakshiram Such Arpita Vimochitaham Cha Sakha Maja Vibho Tvai Eva Nathena Muhur Vipat Ganat Vishan Mahagni Purushada Dashanat Asar Sabaya Vanavasa Krichrata Mridhe Aneka Maharata Shrato Trauni Astratas Cha Asmahare Abir Rakshita. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Militamena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Shva Padantikam Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sagana Raghunatantritam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Visakam Sitamsha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayati Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratisi Namaha He Krishna Karna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostuti Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhi Vrindavanishwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripi Vancha Kalpadurubhasya Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisisa Shunyavadi Pashatya Vishatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome all of you to this Sunday Srimad Bhagavatam session. So last few sessions we have been covering the wonderful chapter on the Canto 1, Chapter 8, entitled Prayers by Queen Kunti. We cover the first 3 slokas. We will have a quick recap of what we covered in the previous 2 sessions. So it all started with the life history of Kunti. She was the child or daughter of Surasena and brother of Vasudev and sister of Vasudev. And at a very early age, she was given to Kunti Bhoj because he was childless and he was a very, very intimate friend to Surasena, and Surasena gifted his own daughter to this Kunti Bhoj, and at a very early age she has to leave her home and she started living with Kunti Bhoj, and she was doing a wonderful service being in the kingdom, and when she was 10 years old, she had the opportunity to serve Durvasa Muni. We all know about Durvasa Muni. He's anger personally for himself, and it's very difficult to get a auspicious thing coming from Durvasa's mouth, actually. So, but Kunti served him so nicely. He was so pleased with the service of Kunti, and he just called Kunti and said that whenever you, after marriage, you want a child, you can invoke the prayers of any demigod, and then he shared the prayers, the mantra to Kunti. Later on, Kunti playfully, she invoked the prayers, and before her marriage, she had to give birth to Karna, and she had to let him go. And after that, we know that she got married to King Pandu. King Pandu was under a curse, and some other Kunti had remembered these prayers of the Vasamuni, and she had told Pandu, and accordingly, Pandu requested Kunti to invoke the prayers, and that's how Kunti gave birth to Yudhishthira Maharaj, then Bhim, then Arjun, and she shared the same prayers with Madhuri, the second wife of Pandu, and she also gave birth to Nakul and Sahadev. And as Providence had his schools, our Pandu trying to father his child, he was immediately killed. Later on, Madhuri also followed suit, and she also died. Then the entire responsibility of taking care of the children fell on Kunti. We all know after what happened after. So then this Mahabharata war, that the war of Kurukshetra was fought, and before the fight, Kunti had only prayed and requested Lord Krishna, see that their son come alive. Her sons come alive. Krishna promised her it will happen, and ultimately the war was won by the Pandavas, and Yudhishthira Maharaj, the righteous person, occupied the kingdom. And on their request, on Pandavas' request, and Kunti's and Draupadi's request, Lord Krishna stayed in the kingdom for a few days. Later on, when the time had come to Krishna to leave for Dwaraka to get joined with his family, he took the permission of all the Pandavas, and as he was about to start leaving for Dwaraka, Uttara came running towards him, and she was in imminent danger to her life, as we know that Ashwatthama had released the Brahmastra to kill the child in the womb of Uttara. Krishna entered the womb, and he countered the effect of Brahmastra, and thus he saved the child, who later on became King Parishit Maharaj. So after this incident, when Krishna was boarding his chariot, that was a time where Kunti Maharani came before the Lord, and with tears in her eyes, those were the tears of love and affection, those were the tears of separation, those were the tears of gratitude, and she offered these wonderful prayers before the Lord. So we had covered the first three prayers wherein Kunti says, Namaste Purusham Dvadyam Ishvara Prakriti Param Malakshyam Sarvabhutanam Andar Bahir Avastitam. She says, Krishna, I offer my humble obeisances unto you. You are Adi Purusha, you are the original personality, you are the supreme controller, you are beyond the material nature, you are both within our heart as Paramatma, and you are outside, you are pervading the entire world. You can see everyone, but no one can see you. You are invisible. You reserve the right to reveal yourself to anyone, and we are covered by the curtain of Maya, and we are not able to see. We are not able to understand your power, or because you have the. You're not revealing yourself because the Mudas, they cannot understand you because they don't have faith in you. as a Nato Natya. He says that Nato Natya Daroyata. One second. Nato Natya Darayata. The meaning there is actually as we go to a movie or a film, we can see the various actors acting on the stage. We only see their actions, but we don't see the real person who is doing that acting. Similarly, the Mudas, they appreciate this nature. They see the sun rising, sun setting. They see a lot of things happening around them, but they don't have that intelligence to see that the creator is behind that, and that's how they ignore the Lord, and that's how the Lord is not also revealing to them. This is what. And then she goes on to say that Tata Paramahamsana Muninam Amalatmanam. So you are better understood by the Paramahamsas, by the Munis, by the uncontaminated souls, because they have only bhakti in their mind, and they are fully focused on you. You reveal. They can understand you, they can feel you, they can see you, but I am just an ordinary woman. How I am able to understand you properly? This is how Kunti Maharani said in the first three prayers, and then we'll go to the next one. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopal Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Krishna, you are Vasudeva. You are the son of Vasudeva. You are the beautiful son of Devaki. Devaki Nandanaya, Nanda Gopa Kumaraya. Nanda Gopa, Nanda is the king of all rajas. He was the king of all Gopas. And you are a Nandanandana. You are the son of Nanda. And you are Govinda. You are giving pleasure to the cows. And I offer my humble obeisance unto you. You take care of the cows nicely and also our senses. So here when you see that Krishna is called by different names, he is called as Krishna, is Vasudeva, is Devaki Nandana, Nandanandana, Govinda. All these names are related with people who are associated with Krishna. And we also know Krishna is called as Madhusudana because he killed the demon Madhu. He is called as Giridhari because he lifted the Govardhan hill. So Krishna is called by his associates as well as the activities he has performed in this universe. So continuing with the next sloka, Namo Pangajanabhaya, Namo Pangajamalini, Namo Pangajanetraya, Namaste Pangajangai, Namaha Pangajanabhaya. Krishna, your navel is like the lotus flower, and you are garlanded with the lotus flower. And your eyes, Namaha Pangajanetraya, meaning that your eyes are as cool as the lotus flower, and your feet is like a lotus flower. So when you see Krishna, the entire limb is been compared with the lotus flower. Anything beautiful in this world, we say it's like a lotus flower. Though we don't have though we can't imagine what the beauty and the beauty of the Lord, yet we compare him with the lotus flower, because lotus flower is recognized as the beautiful object in this universe. So there was an incident during this war of Kurukshetra. Krishna went into the dwelling of Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yudhishthira. Then he started saying, Hari Dharmaputra, you know that Bhishma has got a boon. He can choose his time and place of death. Now his body is pierced with arrows, is full of blood actually, but still he's waiting to get my darshan. So why can't why we should go there and meet Bhishma Dev. So it is said that Bhishma Dev is a great Mahatma of his own, and whenever a Mahatma leaves the body, a lot of demigods, the 33 crores demigods, and they arrive at the scene of his death actually, and the special wrath comes to take the great soul. So it's an opportunity to be present on this occasion. So Krishna called Yudhishthira, "Come, let's go, Dharmaputra." So that's how the Yudhishthira Maharaj, then followed by Bhima, Arjuna, Kunti, Maharani, as well as Draupadi. They all arrived at the scene of Bhishma Dev, where he was just lying with a pool of blood and arrows pierced through his body, eyes partly closed. So when all these Pandavas, Krishna, Draupadi, and Kunti Maharani came to the scene, Bhishma Dev just opened his eyes, and he first saw Kunti, and tears rolled out of his eyes. He thought that, अरे कुंती ने इतना कष्ट उठाया, पूरा जिंदगी में, पूरा जीवन में उसका कष्ट में गया. So what all trouble she has faced, Bhishma was just thinking on this. So when you see this, why Kunti has to face all these sufferings? Because when you see a person who is suffering in this world, we always say, what we think of him is, this person has done a lot of sinful activities. पाप किया है, इसलिए वो उसका जो he is suffering because the sinful reactions. He is suffering because of the sinful reactions. He has gone the irreligious way, so he's bound to get this suffering. So we always think like that actually. And here you see the person who is righteous, the person who is the person who is what you can say, dharma, who is following the religious personified, dharma personified. He has appeared as the son of Kunti, and still the suffering is there for Kunti. And then we also see a person who is weak. We always say that, he to darbok aadmi hai. So he's of no use and he's powerless. We always say that actually. But here we see Bhima, who is all powerful. He appeared as the son of Kunti, and we know Arjun. Arjun is a valor. Is a great valor. Is brave. Is strong. And he has given, Kunti had given birth to Arjuna also. So when we see this, and then we have Nakula and Sahadev, who are very intelligent people, who are fully spiritual and righteous people, and very intelligent. But still, with all this by our side, like we have seen, dharma is on our side, power is on our side, we have got valor is on our side, we have intelligent people on our side, but still she has suffered a lot. So when in this material world, we have all these things, we are righteous, we are powerful, we are brave, we are intelligent, but even if we suffer, then people will say that, this person has just missed the Bhagavan ka jo kripa hai. That is missing. So that's the reason he's suffering. He has got everything, but he's suffering because the mercy of the Lord is missing. But here you see Kunti Maharani had to suffer with all by her side, and even Lord is by her side. So still she had suffered a lot. So that time Bhishma was thinking and said one word, that Sarvam Kala Krita Maya. Everything is bound by time. Everyone is bound by time. So this is the sentence spoken by Bhishma. So I used to wonder during our young days, we whenever there is a New Year, on the eve of New Year, we go to the temple and we offer prayers. We have bhajan, we have abhishek, and then we welcome the New Year. We have prasadam, and we come back home. That was long, long ago, actually. But now, when you see, whenever on the New Year Eve, materialistic place like Goa, we see parties thrown throughout Goa, and people come here, enjoy, and they satisfy the senses and go. So sometimes I used to wonder whether even the gods are bound by time or what, actually, because that was a time when people thronged to the temples, and now the people only go to the parties, actually. So this thing was going on in my mind. Then I also compared it with our founder Acharya, ISKCON's founder Acharya, Prabhupada. When he formed this ISKCON, what he did is he formed the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and then he also formulated certain objectives of the institution. And Prabhupada was very disciplined in following the objectives of the institution. So, in this way, after Prabhupada, his followers, his disciples, all devotees are taking care, and they are just following the footsteps of Prabhupada, and then they are following the objectives. Okay. So, Krishna is time. Krishna says, Agamai, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Agam, Agam Kala. I am time, he says. Okay. Time is the ultimate killer of everyone, actually. So even here, Krishna says that I'm Kala, and time and tide waits for none, and the god in the temple, they are also bound by time, and Krishna having created a time, he also sets an example of how getting bound by the time, actually. That's what Lord also appears from time to time, actually. So this is one thing which I wanted to stress on this point of time. So, so Devaki says, O Rishikesha, master of the senses and lord of lords, you saved your mother Devaki, who was long imprisoned by the investing Kamsa, and me and my children from a series of constant dangers. So Kunti Maharani says that in the sloka, Krishna, I also suffered a lot, and Devaki also suffered a lot. But you are so merciful to me than Devaki by protecting my children, whereas Devaki had to lose all her Kamsa because Kamsa had this voice saying that Devaki's eighth child will be the cause of his death. So Kamsa was also having a lot of love and affection on Devaki, on his sister. But the moment he heard this voice, he changed to violent, and he immediately attempted to kill Devaki. And by Vasudeva's words, Vasudeva actually prevented Kamsa from killing Devaki. was said, Kamsa, Devaki is not the cause of your death. It is only the child of Devaki, the eighth child of Devaki, the cause of death. So what I will do is I will hand over the child to you immediately after the birth, and then you do whatever you want to with the child. So that's how comes mercilessly, ruthlessly killed in a very heinous way the children of Devaki. So Kunti was remembering in her prayers that Devaki's sons were killed, but my children have been protected. They have been so and so to our family. It is not that Devaki undermined killing our children. It is only said in the older times that a daughter, when she's born, is protected by her father, and after marriage, she's protected by her husband, and after the husband's death, she's by children. So here, comparing Kunti with Devaki, though she lost her children, she had the opportunity to get more children, and she had also by her side husband also there. Whereas Kunti, she lost at a very early age, and she had to depend on her children when they are at her older age. And that was the reason she also requested Krishna before the Mahabharata, before the war of Kurukshetra, that her children come alive. So this is what Acharyas say, that why Devaki's children were not spared, whereas the married children were protected by the Lord all the time. So then the next sloka talks about the various incidents where Krishna's presence was there to protect the Pandavas. So Visan Bhagni Purushada Darshanat says that Visha means poison was administered in the prasadam of so being his birthday, and Dhritarashtra called, let us have a party tonight, and that's how he was called, and they were called, and Bhima was poisoned by Duryodhan, and Krishna was there to protect Bhima from death, and then the Pandavas were living in a place, and their place, the house was fire. So Krishna again was present there to protect the Pandavas. And then when they were in exile, there were a lot of cannibals, man-eaters. So they were protected by that also. And then she was. We all know that in the assembly of Kurus, that during the dice game, in a very manner, what manner they say, faulty manner. They lost. The Pandavas lost. They were cheated. You can say they were royally cheated by the Kurus, and they had to lose all their belongings, and they could not even stop Draupadi from losing, and in this great assembly of Kurus, when all were present, when all Pandavas were present, Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra was present, they all were present. Dushyadan, in a very heinous, he Draupadi, insulted Draupadi in that assembly, and none of the Pandavas, nor the Kauravas, were there to even say a word. So that was a time helplessly Draupadi cried, "Oh, Krishna, Govinda." So the next moment, Krishna came there, and he delivered. He supplied the dresses, and that's how she was saved from that great insult, actually. So Kunti was remembering all these things in a prayer, and she says that finally, Krishna, you also protected my Uttara was protected. The womb, the child in a womb was protected by when that Ashwatthama released that Brahmastra. So all these things were remembered by Kunti, and some of these activities have been said. The situation, specific instances have been explained in these prayers, and so when you see from this prayers of Kunti, whatever we have covered so far, one thing is certain that Kunti was entirely dependent on the Lord. That is how she differs from an ordinary devotee. She's a very pure devotee. Ordinary devotees, whenever there is a problem coming to us, we all put our effort actually to solve the problem. We call our relatives, we call our friends, we tell them the problem, we explain them the situation, we get their ideas. We try to solve the problem on our own. Whereas Kunti here, or the Pandavas, or Draupadi, they, whenever the problem arises, whenever the problem comes to them, they fully dependent on the Lord. And they feel that it's the Lord who has given this problem, and it is the Lord who will solve the problem also. So that's how the ordinary devotees, they differ from the pure devotees. So here, to these prayers, we know that the great Munis and Paramahamsas, they take the cue from these prayers, and they quote our prayers in their books, literatures, and Kunti also says that it is bhakti alone which by which we can understand, we can feel the Lord, and we can see the Lord. She says in one of the prayers, she says it, Maya Javani Kam Chinnam, Agyan Adokshidam Abhyam, Na Laksise Muda Drisha, Nato Natya Daroyata, and then Yatta Paramahamsanam. So, great Munis and Paramahamsas and uncondemned souls, they can understand, they can see, they can feel the Lord, whereas the Lord reserves the right not to reveal himself to the contaminated souls, to the persons who are with material motives. So we should take a lesson from the prayers by Kunti, how to become pure devotees, how to focus our attention only on the Lord and nothing else actually. So these prayers are very helpful for all of us in our day-to-day life actually. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Sorry, any question, please?
Thank you, Prabhu, for giving the nice prayers.
Very nice class, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Very wonderful class. So you continue with this Kunti Maharaj prayer only in future also, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhuji. Sorry for if any offense I committed. Sometimes I forget whatever I want to speak. So it come over a period of time, I believe.
Yeah,
Prabhuji's blessing, your blessing, definitely.
You are in the flow, Prabhuji. You are in the flow. Correctly, you are telling that all the flow. So you are recapped also very nicely. You know what your previous session also. Very good.
So all the devotees' blessings will definitely help me, Prabhuji, in my classes. Any questions, Ranganathan Prabhuji?
No.
I don't know the answer. If I don't know the answer, then tell.
No questions. You should be in a position to frame questions. No, we are not in a position to frame questions.
Prabhuji, thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the kind words. Actually, definitely that will encourage me to give more sessions in a proper way. Actually,
yeah, we are all learning. It's a learning curve, learning process to speak, and we don't speak. I particularly don't speak on my own. I copy things from here and there. And
Prabhuji, that is the most correct method, Prabhuji. We have to only follow whatever is already been given. We are just we are copycats, and we are to just like a parrot saying what is already been told, actually.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
thank you.
Yes,
We're getting